Hi everyone, Sarah here today, and I am so excited to be playing with the new Adventures Awaits kit from Mercy Tiara Kit Club this month. There is a great mix and match of Vicky Booten, Pink Paisley. Let's see what else is here. There is some Echo Park in here. What is this? American Crafts Coast to Coast. I mean, they're just gorgeous, all mixed together. This layout did not come out how I expected. I had drawn a sketch and I wanted to use a bunch of branding strips and in the sticker sheet, there's 12-inch strips and I thought I was going to use those. I don't do that. This layout went a completely different way. So I have this grid of photos and it's my daughter, and she was taking full advantage of the weather and being able to do, a bonfire and have s'mores and everything. And I wanted to make sure to document that. The rest of the kids really just didn't care at the time. And she wanted to stay up late enough to where it was dark enough outside and enjoy it and have fun. So I cut that piece that I just put on my photo from a cut apart sheet from the papers in the kit. And I cut the center out because I like the saying and I wanted to use it and it looked like it had a cool frame. And then I grabbed this paper from the 6x8 paper pad. It's pink paisley and it's joyful notes. And so I backed my photo with that. There's the sticker sheet. I pulled it out thinking that's what I was going to do. As you saw, I had already punched one of the branding strips with one of my punches, thinking that is where I was going with this because that's the sketch I had drawn. That, like I said, does not happen. Here I pulled I pulled 2 sheets out of the 6x8 paper pad and I start fussy cutting some pieces out because this is where I kind of change how the layout is going to look compared to the sketch I drew myself. And no, I don't share the sketch. I do apologize. I keep saying that I'm going to share those. I really need to do that. Hopefully when things calm down around here, I will go ahead and do that and start sharing them a little bit. But I fussy cut that piece out. I am actually ripping the branding strip off of that sheet of paper because I like it. And I just put it on my layout, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Another one of the pieces that was a cut apart on that same sheet had these cute little flowers on it with a minty background. And so I fussy cut those out. Put one at the top right and the bottom left of my photo cluster. And then, see, here I go again. I am punching out some strips with my punches. So I do use some strips. It just didn't go exactly how I planned it. I cut it down, just eyeballed it, and added it to one side. And then I figured I'm going to use this little fussy cut piece to cover up the hole in the branding strip. So I'm back to using my fingernails, apologies, to rough up the edges. And I went ahead and added a little glue to make it stick where I wanted it so it wouldn't keep moving around the page. Decided, hey, might as well stick this other piece over here instead of waste it. Tried a frame, didn't like the way it looked, so I pulled it off. And here I'm just going through a bunch of the Echo Park. It's Telling Our Stories is that collection that's in this kit. And I'm just pulling pieces of the ephemera that I think I might use and throwing it off to the side. Going through the second pack of ephemera because I do have the main kit, the embellishment kit, the travel add-on, the card stock kit. And so I'm playing with all of those. I'm actually not pulling out the travel add-on as of yet, but I pulled that one piece out and it says, "This is my happy place." She loves doing this, so I thought it was appropriate. And I went ahead and grabbed this other piece that I had punched out and decided I was going to use it. I'm going to. And it brings some of that tealy color over to the right-hand side of the layout as well. So now I'm going through the pink paisley ephemera that came in the kits, and I'm just pulling pieces and throwing them over there on my layout like I did last time, and just pulling some pieces that I think I might use. There was some pieces I had my eye on for this one, and so I pulled all those out. I'm going to rough up the edges and tuck them here and there. I had already stuck one tag, and I figured I'd layer another one, add some more color over there. And then I rough up these edges, but not sure where I'm going to stick it. And here I went ahead and started putting things together because if I didn't, it was going to go all over the place and keep moving. I don't adhere them down yet, but I am, kind of gluing them to themselves, to the pieces that they are with. And yes, a lot of stuff is uneven and wonky. And I kind of did that on purpose. If you see, I'm not actually really trying to line things up. I may try to cover a few things up here and there, but that's about it. I kind of wanted this to be more free and fun. I mean, she had a blast, and I wanted to make sure that that was documented. That piece that I just put on my photos says photographic evidence. And here I am scruffing up a couple more of these pieces, and I'll glue them together. Once I get them to where I think I like them. I thought I was going to keep the pink at the bottom because of the fact that the pink was at the top on the other side of my photo. Yeah, but I decided against it. And then I pull out the other set. This one has more vellum and stuff like that in it. And I didn't make you watch me go through every bit of that. But I pulled out a bunch of pieces that I thought I might use, just like I did with, the other time. Almost stuck that down backwards. But I caught it, thankfully. But here, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I didn't like the blue wreath. I wanted some more of the pinky purples. And so I went ahead and cut that one in half and stuck a part of it over there. And then I'm going to use the other part on the other side of the layout. I'm just kind of trying to even them out, add little bits and pieces here and there. This way there's a curved element on the other side, just like there is on the far side. And so, to me, it makes sense. I'm just trying to make sure that they're all evened out and it looks more balanced, even though it's cattywampus is all get out. I'm trying to figure out where I want some of these vellum flowers to go in. And I really like that piece, but I wanted to try that one, but I went back to this one. And then these little bitty flowers, I put them there and then I rotate them after I clip pieces of them off, but they do stay on this layout. So I am having problems. I really wanted to add more cards or more pattern, I guess, to the background, but I didn't get the pattern paper add-on this month. And I already have tons of layouts I know I want to make, and I've already sketched in my newsletter where it allows you to, it has that area for you to make sketches. So I already have 6 layouts planned, and so I've got to be careful with what I do. This part could have completely gone without. I didn't have to add the lines to it. I should have just splattered all over the layout and not even worried about where the lines were. Don't really know. I was planning on doing something else again and changed it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off and I smear it, which you can't really tell here. I can, but yeah. I'm going to add some really thin foam adhesive here. This stuff is quite thin, so it's not going to be a big issue, not too much to mention, but just a little bit. So it's not laying flat on the layout. I went ahead and added that. Again, you're not seeing me really line much of anything up, not trying to make it really straight. I'm actually kind of purposely, if you watch, making things cattywampus, and I'm okay with that. I just wanted it to be playful like that. I'm going to add some of that thin foam to this one. I will add a little glue to it as well because I tend to do that when I use my 3D foam. It sticks a little better as just personal, I guess. I added this to kind of cover a little bit of that gap between the two pieces there. And then I decided I wanted more color. And I kind of wanted it over here on the left-hand side because there's still quite a bit more color over on the right-hand side. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to use. I'm loving that yellow. If you watched my unboxing video, you know that. But I'm going through and trying to figure it out. I decide to use this paper. It's got a little more of that tealy color in it, but it's a little darker. And so I decide to cut that. And I thought I was going to go cattywampus with it as well. And I kind of do, but it didn't work out exactly as I planned. I don't know. My brain wasn't working. And then I cut the white like 3/4 of an inch off of the top and side. And, yeah, I mess with it to try to figure out what I'm going to do. And then I'm finally like, you know what, I'm just going to stick it down. So I'm going to add the adhesive on the white cardstock here in a second, and then stick it to where I want it on the tealy cardstock. Just so I can kind of get it placed where I want it. So you see that it's a lot longer. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have another color on it. And I'm okay with that. I wanted that quilty pattern behind it just to add more of all of the colors. So I pulled out a piece of white cardstock That way I can sit everything where it's supposed to be and it will come out to be a 12 by 12 layout. And so I've added some adhesive and I'm going to stick this on the white cardstock and line this up with the, that strip over there. My brain's not working. And I'm just cutting underneath and I butcher it. I totally butcher this. You'll see it as I cut this. But you won't see the back. So it's not a real big deal. And I still have the other piece to use for another layout. And I went ahead and roughed those up with my fingers. I'm going to add, where I had smeared some of it, I added some drops on purpose. And then I just started splattering again. And that pretty much, I think, finishes out this layout. I'm going to pat it a little bit. Oh, I forgot. It doesn't finish it. I pull out my typewriter and I add a little journaling about my daughter and taking advantage of a bonfire because it was actually warm enough for her to be outside and around the fire. And obviously you see she gets warm enough that she doesn't even have a coat on. She does wear her beanie. But yeah, she was stoked about it. She loves a bonfire and will have one whenever she gets a chance. She doesn't like it being too hot, but she doesn't like it being too cold either. So she's like one of those in between. But that does this. I put my journaling down and that finishes this layout. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure to check out the Facebook group to see what everybody else is doing with their kits, the rest of the design team. There's other videos up as well. And if you enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.